As the first light of dawn gently spills across the kingdom, a golden hue embraces the earth. Nestled in the mystic lands of India, this is a time and place unlike any other, a kingdom where wisdom and strength flow as freely as the rivers that nourish the land. In the heart of this kingdom, surrounded by towering walls and ancient trees, lies a grand palace. Its courtyards are lush, its gardens bloom with the rarest flowers, and the air itself seems thick with knowledge passed down from generations. On the terrace of the palace, bathed in the early morning sunlight, stands a wise king. He is not just a ruler, but a living embodiment of ancient traditions, a king whose heart beats in rhythm with the land, and whose soul is intertwined with the wisdom of his ancestors. The king begins his morning ritual as the sun slowly rises, casting a warm golden glow across the land. He drinks from a copper vessel, filled with water drawn from the sacred river that runs through the kingdom. The copper, believed to be the purifier of both body and spirit, is chosen with care. As the water passes through the king's lips, he feels the ancient alchemy of this simple act, transforming the mundane into a sacred ritual of rejuvenation. Standing at the edge of the palace, the king watches the sun climb higher. He feels its warmth, its energy, and draws from it not just physical strength, but the spiritual power that has guided his ancestors for centuries. In the tranquil gardens of the palace, surrounded by towering trees and fragrant flowers, the king begins his yoga practice. This ancient discipline, passed down through generations, unites the body, mind, and spirit in perfect harmony. Each movement is deliberate and intentional. As the king raises his arms toward the heavens, his body flows like the river, strong yet supple, breathing deeply with every stretch. He feels a deep connection to the earth beneath him and the sky above. In this stillness, the king enters a state of profound meditation. His mind quiets, his thoughts dissolve, and for a moment, he is one with the universe, a peaceful harmony that allows him to carry the weight of his kingdom with grace and wisdom. As the king moves into the palace hall, a breakfast fit for royalty awaits him. Vibrant fruits, fresh nuts, and herbs from the royal gardens line the table. Each item is carefully chosen, not only for its flavor, but for its healing properties. This meal, prepared with the wisdom of Ayurveda, is more than just food. It is a carefully crafted medicine for the body. The spices, the fruits, the grains, all designed to balance the king's body, nourish his energy, and prepare him for the day ahead. As the king eats, he takes a moment to express his gratitude. He is not simply filling his stomach, but nurturing his body with ancient knowledge, connecting with the earth and the wisdom that has been passed down through generations. In the grand hall of the palace, the king listens intently to his people. Their voices are filled with hope, with requests, and with dreams. But the king is not just a ruler, he is a servant to his people, one who leads with compassion and wisdom. An elderly villager speaks of a hardship faced by his family. The king listens without interruption, his eyes full of empathy. With kindness, he assures the villager that he will provide the resources needed, for he knows that the prosperity of his people is the true measure of his reign. A young child enters the hall, full of wonder. The king smiles warmly and bends down to meet the child at eye level. In this simple act of kneeling, he reminds his people that true leadership is grounded in humility, respect, and the love for every individual in his kingdom. The midday meal is a time of reflection, a time for the king to nourish his body once more. The meal is an art form, each dish crafted with the wisdom of Ayurveda, designed not just to satisfy the senses, but to maintain the balance of the body's elements. As he enjoys a plate of lentils, rich with the warmth of turmeric and cumin, the king knows that these spices do more than simply taste good. They are medicine, fortifying his body, improving his digestion, and bringing peace to his mind. With every bite, the king feels more connected to the ancient principles of health and well-being. He takes a moment to express his gratitude for the food and for the wisdom of Ayurveda, which has guided the people of his kingdom for thousands of years. As the sun begins to set, the palace comes alive with the sound of music and the rhythm of dance. Musicians play ancient melodies, and dancers move gracefully, telling stories of the gods, of love, and of the eternal bond between the earth and the heavens. The king claps his hands to the beat of the music, his heart lightened by the joy of his people. For him, this celebration is not just an evening of entertainment, it is a reaffirmation of the unity and harmony that binds his kingdom together. Surrounded by his family, the king's laughter rings out. The joy of this moment is shared by all, young and old, rich and poor, reminding everyone that in this kingdom, love and happiness are the greatest treasures. As the night falls, the king returns to his chambers. He lights a small oil lamp, its soft flicker casting shadows across the room. The light is a symbol of the peace he carries in his heart, even as the world outside quiets down. Before bed, the king enjoys a warm herbal bath, infused with fragrant flowers and healing herbs. The steam rises, carrying away the stress of the day and soothing his body, preparing him for a peaceful night's rest. With a deep sigh, the king lies down on his bed, his mind calm and his spirit at ease. He closes his eyes, thankful for the day's blessings, and drifts into a peaceful sleep, knowing that tomorrow he will rise again to continue his journey. In the quiet of the evening, the king sits with his son, passing on the wisdom that has guided him throughout his life. Each word is a seed, planted deep within the young prince's heart. The king speaks of honor, of service, and of leadership, lessons that have stood the test of time. The boy listens intently, knowing that one day he too will carry the mantle of his father's wisdom. As father and son sit together, the king knows that his legacy will live on in the heart of the kingdom, in the actions of his son, and in the minds of all who have followed his teachings. The eternal cycle of wisdom continues. As the sun sets over the kingdom, a golden light spreads across the land, painting the earth in hues of orange and pink. The kingdom stands as it always has, timeless, eternal, and bathed in the wisdom of the ages. This journey, rooted in health, joy, and peace, is one that transcends time. The legacy of the eternal king invites us all to embrace these practices, to live in harmony with ourselves, our communities, and the earth.